morning, Service Alliance community. How y'all doing today? Hopefully you can hear us. I have no idea if this is actually working.
Let us know if y'all can hear us. All right, we got ships in the background, wind blowing. It's a beautiful day here in Portsmouth, Virginia. And we're doing a PSA recap. So, Doug, we see you're watching. Let us know if you can hear us okay. Let us know how the sound is because we're outside in beautiful Portsmouth, and we want to make sure y'all can hear us. How you doing, fellas?
And we're going real technical. We have the old iPhone microphone going. Man, it was a good week, was it not?
Absolutely. Look and sounds great, Doug said. Thank you, Doug. And we're not going to, since the setup we have here this morning, we're not going to be pulling up comments, but still drop your comments. We're going to read them out loud. We're just going to be recapping. PSA was awesome. I got here Sunday, and it has been nonstop networking, learning, just hanging out. I'm literally good exhausted right now. I'm just looking forward to going back and working on and in my business and getting things going.
Yeah. It's like a whole nother level of tired when you go to a conference like this because you're staying up late, you're doing because that's the time that you're networking and connecting with people, and you're getting up early because you're either teaching a class or you're doing the live stream or eating breakfast and networking some more, whatever.
Always something going on.
Yeah, it's just nonstop.
Yeah.
So these weeks they're hard, but they're so worth it. Yeah, they're definitely fruitful. Man, we made a ton of good connections this week. You and EJ were running the Bible study every day. I missed that a few times because staying out late and doing networking.
Yeah,
it was hard to get up.
It was awesome, man. The first morning, I told EJ when we're down here, we're going to do a devotion each morning. And the first morning it was me and EJ. I think it was just me and EJ. And after that, we attended a brainstorm at 6 a.m. the next morning. And as the end of the brainstorm ended, I just mentioned, hey, guys, we're doing a devotion at 7. If anybody wants to come, just going to pray and read a little scripture. And, man, they came out. It was like 6 or 8 dudes rolled up, and they were all, pumped up and excited to see that. It's just good to know that, you're not the only believer around, and we all have different beliefs. We're all not the same, but we can come together around something good and fellowship and talk about life, really.
Well, speaking of that, TK, you wanna read us a proverb today, and then we'll pray it up and continue telling you all about this crazy awesome conference that we went to this week.
Absolutely. I'm gonna read Proverbs 27. Should I read the whole thing or just one or two little verses?
Hit us with something heavy this morning.
Okay. Come on over, bud. We want you to recap with us. We're recapping. You don't want to recap?
Stand behind us. We're live. We're ready to go.
We're live right now.
Get on our podcast. Come on.
So what you can't see off camera is one of our viewers and friends, Brian. He's just he's a little bit shy. He is really here. I promise. He's really here. We're not talking to nothing.
We're not pretending like we have friends. We really do. Here's a perfect one. Or 2 or 3. Proverbs 27:5. An open rebuke is better than hidden love. Wounds from a sincere friend are better than many kisses from an enemy. I love those verses. Every time I come around Proverbs 27, I look at those verses because I'm so thankful to have friends like that. Friends that'll say, hey, man, you're effing up. This isn't good for you, or call you out on your stuff, or, just let you know when you're messing up. And if you have friends like that, cherish them, because they're few and far between.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Mike, you wanna pray us up?
Sure. Dear Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for the connections at this conference. Very, very fruitful, and you made us for community. And coming together as a community of appliance servicers and getting to know people and the actual hearts behind those people is what this conference was about for me. It was great. And just building those connections, learning who people are at their core has been amazing. Thank you for the way you've designed us and the way that you allow us to interact with each other and resolve problems, issues, help each other. That's what it's all about. And we recognize that that's the way you wanted it to be. It's in Jesus' name I pray.
Amen. So I'll tell you what, I spent more time networking. I didn't really go to classes. I taught my one class, and I spent a lot of time just really getting to know people. Some of these people you guys have met, but I haven't met yet. This is my first time actually meeting them. And so that was really cool to develop those relationships. I'm surprised how many believers we have, man. Like just absolutely surprised by that number. And grateful for that.
Yeah,
that was pretty awesome. So what was your favorite part of this week? Like, what was one class or two classes that just like blew you away, or what was something that you did during this conference, TK, that just like it was the cherry on the cake?
Honestly, it might seem there was two classes that I really got something. I didn't go to a lot of classes either, to be honest with you. I went to a few. I spent a lot more time networking as well. But the Whirlpool class, believe it or not, of all classes, Mike, the guy that did that class, shout out to him. That guy's a knowledgeable dude. And he just shared a few little tips. You know, he was going through and doing his training, but he was making sure, because he's a former technician, he was making sure to stop and drop little nuggets for you. I'm going to give you one of those little nuggets right now. One of the things that he dropped or told us to do was get a piece of 3-inch PVC piping, cut it the width of a washing machine drain pan, and then cut about a 2-inch gap all the way down the length of the PVC pipe. It goes perfectly over the front lip of the washing pan, and you can drag that washer out right over top of it without damaging that pan. Honestly, PSA was worth it just for that tip for me, because I have cracked more drain pans than I would like to admit, especially those super cheap plastic ones. And it was just, it was a simple, easy tip, but it was huge. And then the second one was super simple too, but it was Dr. Dan's wife sharing about her coloring sheets. And I know some of you guys are sitting there right now thinking like, really, you went to PSA and those were two of your biggest takeaways? Little things like that is why I love these conferences. Of course, I learned a lot about business. I learned more about all that stuff and how to work on these appliances and that stuff. But it's those little nuggets like that keep me coming to these things, because that's the stuff I can go home. I can go to the store. I can go to Home Depot and get a 8-foot piece of PVC. And me and Austin and Ethan will all have these on our truck in the next few weeks. So really cool stuff. But the coloring sheet thing was basically, she keeps a pre-made coloring sheets in the vans of her technicians, and they have her logo, some appliances, and she gives them to the kids to color. And I was like, man, what a cool idea. That is just, it's just those little things you do in your business that make a difference. And I just thought that was awesome. And they're awesome. Shout out to Dr. Dan and his wife, Marion. I love those two.
So we got EJ and the boys. EJ decided not to fly back home with that hurricane coming through. His flight was going to be affected, so he's riding home with his guys, Terry and Adam. Shout out. Those guys were cool. It was fun to hang out and really get to know them this week. Good morning, Saul. Good morning, Jason. Great dinner with Jason and Shayna last night. That was awesome.
Nice.
EJ's dropping what he enjoyed. He did an in-person demo with Service Works, and Super Panda is her nickname. She's so you guys know that I love the technical side of job management. Like I've spent time sitting with engineers and breaking their software and that kind of stuff. And that's something I enjoy doing. And sitting with an engineer, you know, she's very actively involved in the production of Service Works, how that happens, and her team. And so for me, actually getting to chat with her and learn about another software that really could be a game changer for the appliance service industry, and a couple other industries here and there that, you know, have that good crossover. But sitting with her and hearing the passion and hearing the care that she actually puts into it, I think some of the other software companies have kind of forgot why they're doing what they're doing. And ServiceWorks definitely has not forgotten why they are doing what they're doing. So that was really cool. And I think EJ brought up, you know, networking with the Callahans, and him and Adam got certified. They did the master.
Callahans are awesome.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Every single one of them were super cool. Mike, his daughter, Kate, and the son was Dylan, I believe.
Mike. It's Mike.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah,
Mike and Mike.
Shout out to all the guys that got certified this week.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
You know,
I'm a master technician, y'all, now. So just so you know.
You always were, buddy.
Yeah.
You always were.
I have the certification to prove it now. It's not just talk.
Saul's saying ServiceWorks is awesome. And shout out to Saul. He introduced me to David from the ServiceWorks team, who I actually got to meet in person this week. So that was pretty cool. The other amazing part, you know, in the networking, I think for me, one of the deepest connections that I was able to make this week was with Jesse and Sean from Vulcan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those dudes are awesome.
So we spent a lot of time with them this week. I spent even more time with them, and, you know, listening to Jesse talk, having a similar background, listening to Sean talk. He does a lot of same stuff now that I do back home for church and mixing and stuff like that. And so, like, to bond over those, and then bond over the service industry and the things that, you know, we see that are problems, and things that we see that we have solutions as individual companies to solve. That was pretty amazing. So how about you, Mike?
The biggest thing for me was literally just getting to know everybody I mean, it's not just like that handshake in the middle of the hall or just nodding your head at somebody. It was seeing everybody connect and reconnect, that, you know, all those side conversations, you just walk out and they're just happening, you know, all those little pods of people, and getting to meet so many people. But hearing conversations in those pods about their problems, you know, and people asking questions, that's what it was for me. It's like, you can't get that anywhere else. Anywhere else, you know. And their problems were literally able to be solved because so many people would jump in and help them, give them advice. And you know, I was talking to some younger techs, and there were some younger techs that were here, and just the passion and the openness of their mind, how they're trying to learn everything. And, you know, they know that they've got a lot more to learn, but just seeing the I guess the freshness in their heart for the industry was a real boost to me.
Yep, absolutely. I think, you know, piggybacking on what you said about that, talking to a lot of these owners and techs that work for guys, it's just so reassuring that, hey, we're not We were sitting down by the fire one night. And I was talking to two young men. What were their names? Brian and Richard. And they were just sharing about their company. We're talking shop, and I could just tell from these two young men that they had an awesome company that they worked for, because they had zero bad thing. They were down there, they were hanging out, having a good time. It would have been a perfect opportunity to vent if they had things to vent about. But they didn't vent a single bit. They were praising their boss, how awesome he was. You could tell the team culture of this company just through these two young men. So a shout out to their team, their boss, and a shout out to Ryan and Richard and all the rest of the business owners and techs, because we're all just out here doing our best. We're all just out here trying our best to navigate the waters of appliance repair. Whether you're a boss, whether you're an owner, whether you're a service manager, a tech, a CSR, we're all trying to work together. And another really cool thing is when you come to these conventions, you really get to see the other sides of appliance repair. You get to talk with these warranty companies and hear about their victories and struggles, and you get to talk to the parts suppliers. And there's so much that goes into this industry that we as owners and technicians often take for granted. But there's a lot of other people working their asses off to make all this happen. And shout out to all those people.
Alex, and who was the other one? My brain just went blank. The two guys from Ohio.
I honestly don't.
I'm terrible with names,
But so many people.
So when you come to these things, as you're hanging out in the after hours and whatever, the like minds tend to gravitate towards each other. And I mean, every night out here at the fire pit, there was 15, 20 guys hanging around the fire pit and just really getting to know each other.
But there was always like different people rotating in.
Yeah.
Too. So that was really nice, because you get to meet all the new people and find out what their struggles are.
Yeah.
One real big thing for me was the keynote speaker. That dude talking about having no bad days.
Yeah.
And he talked about his bad day, his worst day of his life, and what he went through and everything. I thought that was really powerful. If you don't know who that is and you're watching this later and you weren't here, look up Jason Redman. Look up his books, and just go buy it. That dude's got some real. He knows what a bad day is, and if you think you're having a bad day, you ain't having a bad day.
Yeah, absolutely. He was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I had to step out a few times, but keynote speakers for me are typically just straight up boring. I'll be honest with you.
Well, there are a lot of fluff.
A lot of fluff. And this dude was legit. He was sincere, and he has a real story of a real hard thing that he went through and how he overcame it. It's inspiring, man. If you have never checked him out, check him out and go get his book, because that dude is doing something super cool.
So on the PSA topic, so we had really good conversations with them. They really have a heart for the service industry, the appliance industry. Jason's at the door making faces. But these guys really have a heart, and they really want to make some things change in the appliance industry. So that's pretty awesome.
Come share your takeaway real quick.
You're about to get a cameo from My Office Help, our partner.
My Office Help in the house.
We were just going to randomly walk in the background and be odd,
Well, now you can
Now you can be a little bit closer and be odd.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
What'd you guys enjoy this week?
I always enjoy networking. It's one of the big things that even when we had our electrical company, going to these places and seeing people that are there to help us just as much as we're there to help them. So that's always been my biggest takeaway from the conventions.
I enjoyed Jason Redmond, the SEAL team member, his presentation last night on creating elite teams. That was really good. going from a good team to a great team to an elite team. And with an elite team, like nothing's impossible. So
Yeah.
that was a good presentation.
Yeah, that we were literally just talking about how powerful that was.
Good stuff.
Oh snap! There's a party waiting to happen from Saul.
We're hitting the road. See you guys later.
All right,
All right,
guys.
y'all.
See you guys.
Drive safe.
Yeah, we got to hang out and have dinner with them last night and just, talk shop and talk partnership and all that stuff. And we did talk with PSA on like, how can we help serve you guys? What do you need from Service Alliance Group to help serve you guys? So that was really good to be able to pour back into the industry. We've never taken a position of taking. We've always taken a position of what can we pour back?
Help? Yeah. How can we help?
So that was really great. Next year, you have 12 months to get ready. We're going to have the media kit soon for PSA 2025. It is going to be in Las Vegas. Okay. It is going to be the same time frame, the 22nd to the 25th out there in Las Vegas. And it's worth coming. If you have technicians, if you're an owner, it is well worth getting to a PSA convention.
The certification classes they have is worth it. I mean, they have certification classes for techs, CSRs, service managers, and what we're hoping to help with is the business side of stuff, because they got the tech stuff locked down.
Yeah, I don't think next year is going to be your typical same old PSA. There's going to be some things changing.
Yeah,
for the better.
For the better, for sure.
Yeah, they took a lot of feedback this year,
and those guys
from a lot of people. I mean, like
a lot of people.
Their vendors, their teachers, all that stuff. They took a lot of feedback.
Yeah.
Shout out to Randy Carney. I'll be dropping a podcast with him in the near future, and they really see that they have things that they want to change, and they are actively making changes. So that's pretty awesome. Saul says he saw the classes that we were hosting. He thought they were pretty cool classes, and Saul always pumping us up. How can someone join the Service Alliance Group? Jump up to servicealliancegroup.com and check it out. All access. If you're a business owner, you're wanting to learn how to implement, how to grow, how to scale, how to run your business, servicealliancegroup.com. We'll host monthly masterminds. So if you missed our classes here, we have very similar, not identical, but very similar classes that we host every single month. And that is free to our all access members. If you're a technician, we have the largest tech manual library out there right now. And it continues to grow every day. I think we're adding something to it. So servicealliancegroup.com, go check it out. And it was a great time.
I can't wait for next year. I seriously can't wait for next year.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be a good time. We're already planning into going to PSA next year. We're already making our plans. So you guys are going to be seeing and hearing a ton about PSA and making sure butts are in seats, because there's so much value that happens when you come to these conferences. A lot of guys with any conferences will think, well, it's expensive. I can't do it. I can't take off. I can't not run calls. EJ was here with his lead tech and his newest tech, and he had one tech back home running service calls.
Yeah.
And it wasn't an expense. It was an investment in his company.
And it, something I was talking to one of his techs, and his tech did not want to come here. He wanted to stay home, make money, run service calls. But once he got here and started going through classes, started going through everything, it completely changed his mind and his view on all of this. And then he saw the value of it. And it wasn't so much networking for him. It was the classes and just being able to get questions answered. And he told me it made him a better tech. So
Shout out Terry.
shout out to Terry. You know, so he's looking to, you know, now he's taking the next step. He's going to start his own business and, you know, compete with EJ.
Yeah, put EJ on.
You know, he's going to put EJ under and do way better than EJ ever did. So
Shout out to Terry.
shout out to Terry.
Terry
You know,
in the house.
we're joking. That was a running joke here at the conference, you know, with Terry and EJ. So
Marie says, good morning, Service Alliance. Thanks for your continued dedication to this channel and congrats on another year. So thank you, Maurice, for your kind words. We just,
Y'all want to share a takeaway real quick? Oh, you got to go? It's good seeing you, man.
good to see you guys.
Give 'em a quick hand.
People are coming and going. This is travel day for everyone. If you couldn't tell from my travel shirt, I'm out of the you know, good stuff. But yeah, it was a great time. I just, you know, there's always a little bit of a high when you're coming off of one of these conferences, but unpacking the things that made a difference to you, and then actually implementing the things that made a difference, right? So, I'll tell you what, I was blown away by Mike's daughter. I sat in a class and it was open discussion on problems we see in the industry. What are the biggest things facing the appliance industry? And we're the youngest two in that room. And so just hearing, you know, some of the things that the older generation is seeing as problems, and then being able to, as the younger generation in this, and actually younger 2 generations in this, because she is
Way
younger, much younger. But being able to have our 2 generations go, well, here's what we see. Here's the things that we see are a problem. Here's things that we see can be a fix. Here's questions we think should be asked as we're trying to improve the industry. And then I met a guy from Florida, him and his wife, and he's the old school boot in your ass, you know, just go and work, and I'm giving you a paycheck. And his wife is the more, well, she's HR. We'll put it that way. There is a reason she is HR. And to kind of hear her go, yeah, I see this. Like, I see these things that we have to ask. And her husband, you know, co-owner of the company, going, I get it. That's why I left you in charge and not me. So it's good to see people in the industry beginning to make those pivots and shifts.
right.
And shout out to Mike Callahan. That man is running business the right way.
He's got it going on.
He admitted, you know, I'm very much the boot in your ass. Like, I'm giving you a paycheck. What else could be? What else do you need? Kind of person. And Kate and his wife are the ones that pay attention. They see the numbers. They see when a technician is struggling, and they go, Mike, you need to go and talk to that technician. And he goes, what? And they go, just go and talk to the technician. Figure out what's really going on with him, and let's help make him better. Let's figure out what's going on. And Mike is very receptive to that, which is amazing.
I enjoyed meeting his family.
Yeah, they're a lovely family. All of them are just seem like just good, down to earth, good people. It's nice meeting them for sure.
Reese, there you go. All right, so Alex was one of the young men
Alex
from
and Reese.
Ohio.
How do we not remember those?
Well, Reese, my brain. Sorry, buddy. I had your nicknames in it. I'll leave that off the podcast. Those were just all resonating in my head. But Alex says, safe travels, you guys. It was a blast to hang out together. Valuable knowledge for Reese and I, and it was for sure an honor meeting your group. Those 2 young men, their company is extremely lucky to have them.
Yeah, for sure.
They're amazing young men, and it really was an honor to meet them as well. And Wiley says, thanks, Mike. The cat's out of the bag. And Saul says he's got to go drink coffee and hit the road. Have a great weekend. Safe travels. Prayers to Florida peeps that got hit on the head by the hurricane. think a couple of our people here are going to be having some travel issues trying to head home because they are on that side that just got smacked. So
Yeah,
prayers to Florida. So
for sure.
Anything as we're wrapping up? Any final thoughts on?
Yeah, I got a final thought. One big realization that I had this week, because I've been so gung-ho for years about getting out of the truck and working on my business instead of in my business. And I had a bit of a realization this week that I can do both. As I was teaching my class on standard operating procedures, one of the things I kept driving home to them is do what you're good at and makes you the most money, and that you're passionate about, and find other people to fill the other holes. Well, the things that I'm passionate about are training new technicians, running the actual service calls, and being out there in the field doing the things that I'm doing. And I can do both. I don't have to, oftentimes we feel pressured to get out of the van and not run service calls anymore. And I've been guilty of feeding into that as well. So I encourage everyone, no matter where you're at in your business, start looking at your business in categories and categorizing things and thinking about, what do I want to do in the long term? Now, does TK want to be running service calls when he's 60? Not very many, if I am. But right now, I'm perfectly happy with where I'm at, but I'm so eager to find out what the next level is and what it's going to take to get there. And a lot of lessons this week on being content but not complacent and being ready to move to that next level, but happy where I'm at right now while I'm here.
I actually love that you had that realization, because I believe we've had that conversation before, and that's one of those things. And I joke with EJ about it. I'll walk through something with him, and then he'll come back to me a month or so later and go, "Hey, so I'm going to do this thing, and I learned this thing," and it's like, we just had that conversation a month ago, but it took another voice. It took being around a peer group of people to go, no, really, this is the thing, right? And so it's really good that you're kind of beginning to embrace that side of things. Mike, any takeaways for you?
Yeah, my big thing is a lot of you out there, you'll look at a few of these bigger conferences and you'll only go to one. And from every person that I've talked to and all the feedback that I've heard, it's not just one or the other. It's both. I mean, you need to be at multiple conferences, and you need to budget for that. And I know it's an expense, but don't look at it as an expense. It's an investment in your business. It's an investment in you personally. It's an investment in your technicians' growth. And you need to start getting more of your technicians to these types of events. Start bringing them with you. Get in here and learn the business, but also get your techs in there and let them learn something. It's a really good opportunity for growth in your business. You're going to make so many connections at these things that you can't make anywhere else. So start going to multiple conferences. Nobody wants to see the same people just rotating through the doors at conferences. I've experienced that for decades in my life, and it's like you need to expand your mind, right? And one conference cannot do that for you. So make sure that you're going and getting everything that you can out of the resources that you have available.
For sure.
Good morning, Rob Jones. You were a topic of discussion.
All good things.
Yeah,
maybe.
We met your counterpart out of Appleton, Wisconsin, Steve. He is one of the Samsung trainers. Great guy, very knowledgeable. It was great to meet him and really just hear his heart and passion for the industry as well. If you weren't here, you got to be here next year. It was so worth it. My big takeaway is you guys are about to get a lot more content. December-ish. I'm going to have a couple really cool interviews come in. I'm going to have a couple interviews that we did while we were here drop in, and a couple little shorts from while we were here drop in, including with our good friend over at P&G, Diane Hoffman. Super knowledgeable. You want to learn about how she is in the Appliance Alliance group, so pay attention, ask those questions in there, and we've just brought a ton of these people to the table, and they're there and willing to be resources for you, for your technicians, for your business. So a lot of good stuff coming. So
For sure.
we got to go and get ready to travel.
Yeah.
It's
I need some breakfast.
yeah, we need breakfast first and then pack up, and it's travel day, y'all. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. Grind.